Hi, my name is Joel Wilburn, and I play bass here at Redeemer. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the role of the bass and a little bit about the role of the bass in general in music, and more specifically how it applies to us here at Redeemer, and how you as a bass player can help to facilitate our overall goals as a praise and worship team. So in music, there's three primary elements that make up music, and it's rhythm, harmony, and melody. The rhythm is the beat or flow of the music, and it goes beyond just tempo and includes also the basic feel or groove of the music. Harmony is a combination of several notes that are all played simultaneously that produce chords and chord progressions. And then melody is a sequence of single notes, such as the part of the song that is sung or a lead line that might be played by a guitar or other instrument. In most musical genres, the bass plays a role in two of those and really provides the foundation for both the rhythm and the harmony, and really combines the two of those into one cohesive unit whenever the music is heard all together. As a rhythmic foundation, the bass really works alongside the drums and creates that rhythmic feel of the song. This is where the percussive quality of the bass can really be heard. A common mistake a lot of bass players make is to assume that the rhythmic foundation is to be built by the drums. And that's really something that the bass and the drummer have to work alongside with each other to create. It's not the drummer's job just to play along with that, but they should have an independent feel of the rhythm and beat to a song and lead along with the drummer. And it's good for them to be locked in together, and you'll see more of that in a video we have specifically to that, to how the bass and the drummer play together. While it's important that you have an independent sense of rhythm, it's also important that you're aware of the rest of the band and what they're playing. It's really easy to get out of sync with somebody else in the band, and it's important that you're aware of what everyone's playing, and don't be afraid to speak up when you hear that, when you hear the tension between two different instruments, and talk about what the proper best way to convey the feel and the message of that song and how you should play. The second part is the harmonic foundation. A lot of people realize that the bass lays the foundation in the rhythm, and they feel the bass and they can hear that, but they're not really aware of how the bass lays the foundation for the harmony. So our ears hear a chord or a set of notes around the lowest note that's being played. A lot of times that's provided by either the bass or by the keyboard or piano. The sound of a particular note will vary depending on what note's being played at the time. It's important that the note changes on a bass, because of that reason, be very precise and also be accurate. Because if you play a note that's off from what the fundamental chord is, then it will change the feel of the song. Many times a song will use a slash chord to indicate that a particular non-root note is to be played in the chord progression. It's important, especially for beginning bass players, not to ignore those and to realize that the person who wrote that song intended for the feel of a song to be portrayed by using that fundamental non-root note to be played on the bass and sometimes even on the piano. All that is not to say that the bass player can only play the root notes or the slash chord. A lot of songs leave that room for improvisation or for writing your own bass lines, and a lot of times they're written right into the song as well. But it's important to be aware of the overall feel of the song and how the movement of the chords is helped by what you're playing, and to make sure that what you're playing is not hindering the movement of the song or portraying a different feel than what's intended. Regardless, it's important that you remember these two basic foundations of rhythm and harmony, and are aware at all times of how what you're playing on your instrument is affecting the song overall through those foundations. In particular with Redeemer, it's important to always be mindful of the overall goal of the music, and also be aware of how things that you may be playing are causing confusion or noise and maybe hindering the other band members, and also hindering the congregation from meaningful worship.